So let's talk about the push operation. So before we do the push operation, to finish all the push operation, I want you to think about how did you do the push in the array implementation for Q. So did you remember when you do the push, right? Right, so the push, actually, we just need to use the size as the index, right? So then we assign the new value. Right, so we see here, in the push operation, we need to do the priority queue, but think about queue first. Because anyway, you need to push your value into your priority queue. So that's why, right? So did you remember before when we do the array implementation, when we do the push, we just need to assign the new value equal to the size, right? So size actually, besides that the size, they are also the size index for the array. So we need to assign the new value to the index equal to size. So before that, right, we need to check. If size is greater or equal to the cap, we need to enlarge our capacity. So afterward, we assign the new value to the index equal to size. Then we increment our size. Is that right? So that's the push for our queue, right? Right, because queue actually do the first in, first out. But our priority queue, we will, according to this one. But addition to that, after we push that new value, we need to make sure this new value we push in, they will maintain our heap structure. For example, that's our heap, for example. On our priority queue original like this, you see 9 is the biggest value, so 6 less than that. So the children for this 6, they are all smaller than that. So that's why we say that's a heap structure. Heap structure, you have the top one is the greatest value. Then your children, anyone's children, always less than or equal to the value. So originally we have the heap structure, right? Good. So for example, now I have a new value I want to add. We just say, for example, if this one is 8. Okay. So when we want to add the 8, right? So originally the 8 location is we're using the size as the index. So that's the new value. So actually from here earlier, what we do this one, this couple line, we finish the new value at the new location. But after we add this 8, do we have a heap structure? No, we don't have heap structure, right? So the heap structure means actually after I add this value, right, I need to continue to go up to see if my parent value is smaller than me. What should I do? Right, I need to swap. So that's why here 8 will swap with 5. So continue if after you swap, right, I need to continue to go to check. So then if the parent's values smaller than me, I need to swap. So that's why 8 will become here. So on the other hand, so I just add the number. So originally we add 8. So because 8 is greater than the parent's 5, so that's why they swap. So continue 8 will compare to 6. 8 is greater than 6, so that's why you see 8 we need to swap, right? Okay, so that's why you will see here, after we add in the new value, they need to try to go up to see if they are greater than their parents. If they greater than their parents, they swap. Or when they reach to the top, they finish. So that's why you see here, when 8 reach to here, right? So then when 8 compared to the parents, oh, if I greater than I less than my parents, so I finish. So on the other hand, right, so that's why here, after we add the new value into the right location for the size, actually before we really add the size, we need to do here. We need to move the newly add value to the right location. So here, when we say the right location, actually is we see how much I can promote this node to the top. So on the other hand, you need to do is you need to using your index. So then you compare your index to calculate your parent index. So then you compare the value. If you are greater than your value, you swap or you finish. So this one I want to show you. You can see, or you can copy this website. So then they show you here is how they will promote. But this one actually is different. They're using the lower value on the top. For us, we do the low. In this example, they do low to high, but we do the high to low. But here, I just want to show you the animation. This one is good to show you how we will do the promotion. So now, after we add in the new value, so the next one is how we will move the newly added value to the right location. So on the other hand, when we reach the right location, that means the value of the parent index should be greater or equal to the newly added value. Or we reach the top. So that means your index actually become become 0. So then we can finish. So that's why here, in order to find your parent's index, we need to use in the size. So now here, we will define one index. So this index actually equal to size. Why? Because this one is for the newly added node. So this newly added node, their parent index. How to calculate the parent index? Did you remember parent index? We told you earlier, the parent index equal to the children index, right? Plus 1 divided by 2, so then minus 1. So that's the parent. So what should we do is we need to continue to calculate the parent index. So after we calculate the parent index is what? Okay, so you see we need to continue to promote our value until they reach the top. So that's why here we have the while loop condition is while the index greater than 0. That means we didn't reach the top, right? So if we didn't reach the top, we just need to continue to do the comparison. Yeah, if the index not reach the top, yeah, so what we need to do is we just need to continue to check the value. So that we check what value? We check the values in parent index. If the value in the parent index less than the child index, remember the child index, we're using the index. So if the parent's index less than the child index, we do what? Did you remember here? Right, we see we swap them. So we swap their value. So if the parent index value is less than the child index value, so actually we just swap these two locations, right? So after we swap, we kind of promote the newly added value to the location, to right location. However, if not, if the parent's value actually is not less than the children value, actually we do what? Should we continue? Like this one. So when 8 less than 9, should I continue? No, I don't need to continue. So that's why here, when your value for the parent index less than the children index, right, I need to swap. But if not, I just break from the loop because we finish. They are in the right location. Okay. So otherwise, you see here, after you swap, right? So after you swap, actually you swap 8 with the 5. So here is 8, here is the 5. So I still need to continue to promote. So that's why here, if less than we swap, else we break. But then if we can continue, so that's why you see the children index actually become the previous parent index because we swap. So then here we need to recalculate the parent index. So the parent index equal to the new index, the children index minus 1. Okay, so that's your push function. So the reason here we do the size plus afterward, that's because here when I try to promote, I still need this index value. So that's why here I know where the 8 location is. So that's why I can start promote. So when we start promote, actually I just need to using the 8 location to calculate the parent index. We continue to promote until the parent value is greater than the newly value, or we reach the top. So that's the push. So that's why in this push, first thing we add the newly add value into the right location. So then from here, we need to have them to promote to the right location to maintain our heap structure. But here in this while loop, actually we just go level up. So that's why here, even that's a while loop, but here the runtime actually is the log n. So that's the push.